looks like you're ready to stream. Go live, go live. Okay. Welcome now to the Tattoo Now YouTube channel. Good thing I tested this before I was done with the introduction. I'll be able to hit it for the sponsors, which is nice. If you are just joining us from the Tattoo Now live stream. Oh, I'm checking one more thing. I think it's all working in all the places. Yes, it is. Okay, great. If you're just joining from the Tattoo Now live stream, if you want to join this lettering drawing group, you want to go to community.reinventingthetattoo.com or go to either of the app stores, download the Reinventing the Tattoo app, and the events link will have the Zoom link so that you can beam in and then join us. And this is the lettering group with Damen Tesch from Humboldt County. Okay, so we were talking just about to shift into the real world events that we are going to be, producing and attending. October 3rd to the 6th, 2021. That's this year. It's coming up in 3 months. It's crazy. It is the Paradise BYOB at Jiminy Peak Mountain Resort in Western Massachusetts. It's the least densely populated town in Massachusetts, Hancock, Mass. It's an old ski resort, and it's awesome. We will be beaming out tons of seminars, discussion panels. We'll have critique sessions there for people. Bob Tyrrell's coming to do some seminars. Thea Duskin's doing a seminar. A whole mess of people are coming. I think Jesse Smith might come up, so email and tell them that you're interested. I will be confirming with everybody and getting the list up online. Lots of reinventing people coming out. Paradise BYOB, bring your own brains, brushes, beats if you're a musician, but if you're a cannabis person, booze, beer, berries if you're a vegan. I don't know, maybe anything else that's a B. Anything that's positive that you might want to share with people. There's going to be a lot of art creation. It's kind of like there might be a little bit more tattooing than there would be at an art retreat, but there's going to be way more art retreating than there would be at a tattoo gathering. It's definitely not a conference, but there will be seminars every day. It is a BYOB. I don't know. This is a unique event. It is actually a Sunday to Wednesday. I don't know who the hell does events on Sundays to Wednesdays, but we asked everybody, hey, when do you want to do an event at Jiminy Peak? Everyone said they had Sundays and Mondays off or Mondays and Tuesdays off, and we couldn't just do it for 3 days. So we're going to do it from Sunday to Wednesday. Anyways, that's October 3rd to the 6th, 2021, paradisebyob.com at some point. Not today, though, because I'm doing this instead. That website will be up any minute. November 12th to the 14th, the Brussels Tattoo Convention is happening in Belgium. Yeah, I was there a couple of years ago. It's pretty awesome in the heart of a great European town. The Belgian triples are very tasty beverages. But it's the tattooing that is awesome. Kim's got an amazing a show going on, so it's got a gazillion people. This year might be a little more subdued because it'll be the first one out of the pandemic. But there's a pretty awesome reinventing track that'll be there. There'll be seminars every day. Nick Baxter, Ivana, and I will be doing seminars. There's a great contingent of reinventing members and artists coming over, so we'll be doing some art jams, some subscriber meetups. We'll be doing a brunch. It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, so that's the Brussels Tattoo Convention, November 12th to the 14th. End of the world pending. Let's see, May next year, we've got some events that we're heading out to. May 20th to the 22nd, Hell City, Columbus. Derb always puts on an awesome show. It's meticulous, and there's going to be a big reinventing thing going on there. Let's see, July 8th to the 10th, 2022. These are all next year. 2022, July 8th to the 10th. The Rock River Tattoo Art Expo in Rockford, Illinois. Cliff Breakers is the venue because it's right on the river, it's right on the cliffs. One of the whole windows of the tattoo ballroom is overlooking the river. It's pretty out of control. Guy will be heading up the reinventing educational track. There's like a full theater building or theater room there that's designed. It's like a lecture hall. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Anyways, there'll be a full educational track. There's going to be like 100 tattooers. We're sending out the invites as we speak and revamping the website. That's tattooartexpo.com. July 8th to the 10th, 2022, outside of Chicago. So it's easy to get to from anywhere. July 29th to the 31st, 2022, River City Tattoo Invitational in Akron, Ohio, with Tony Urbanek. Is going to be sick. He's got a lot of tattoo machine building experience. He's been doing the machine building seminars as well as some discussions and interviews with machine builders. It's pretty cool. Okay, lastly, October 20th to 23rd, Paradise Tattoo Gathering. That's 2022. We'll be doing the OG show at the OG location for Paradise. and Thursday to Sunday, October 20th, 23rd, 2022. Sponsors, worldtattooevents.com, the most comprehensive resource for tattoo events worldwide. I know I tried to copy it after like 3 days. There was no way I was going to be able to keep up. Alex is impressive with the amount of information that he's able to coordinate. And right now, tattoo conventions are scheduling and rescheduling like crazy. Worldtattooevents.com for all the latest info on tattoo conventions. Inkjetstencils.com. If you are looking to print your stencils straight from your computer, they have wicked high resolution. It saves your hands some strain, saves a little bit of dough and time. Check it out, inkjetstencils.com. That you can also print out oversized prints, back pieces and shit. Rawpigments.co, acrylic-free inks. They don't dry up in the cup. They are vegan friendly. Rawpigments.co, check it out. We'll get the samples at reinventing247.com and then scroll down. DLize Pro, otherwise known as Dermalize in the rest of the world. In America, because of trademark stuff, they are DLize Pro. They have a skin healing wrap that is designed to breathe. If you're still using plastic wrap that is designed literally not to breathe, then you might consider checking it out. They've got a lot of videos of artists using their product, and yeah, definitely follow the instructions because it's designed specifically to heal wounds, but you want to use it right. Dermalize, DLize Pro, tattoonow.com. We do technology for tattooers. Now that reinventing is getting up to speed, I'm getting back to my website clients. We have like 100 websites. We do SEO, CRM, consulting, business consulting, all that, tattoonow.com. And then lastly, but fundamentally, firstly, for reinventing, this is all coming out of Guy Aitchison's brain. Thank you, Guy Aitchison. Definitely check out guyaitchison.com. He has original paintings for sale, prints for sale, the Biomech Encyclopedia, 2 volumes of awesome art. Okay. Whew. I think this is working. Damon, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Gabe. Thank you for asking. Thanks for having me today here. Appreciate
absolutely. So I'm going to hop into the background. If anybody wants, I will be monitoring the chat rooms. And yeah, please send your constructive criticisms and sponsorship opportunities to management@reinventingthetattoo.com. Positive reviews go out on all of the channels because the algorithms like the positive reviews. And yeah, Damon, why don't you start off by introducing yourself a little bit, let people know where they could find you online and where you're beaming in from, all that fun stuff.
Right on. Like Gabe said, my name is Damen Tesch. I've been tattooing for about 23 years, since 1996 or so. I'm coming from Humboldt County, California, where I have my shop, Second Sight Tattoo. And you can find us, of course, on Instagram and Facebook at Second Sight Tattoo, or you can find me at Damen Tesch Tattoos. And so yeah, I'm not like a lettering guru or anything like that. I appreciate the opportunity here to look at this as like an exercise for myself and you guys to work on script practice, because I'm kind of a walk-in shop type guy and we do a lot of that kind of thing. You're going to be writing names and things on people. If you're a beginning tattooer or an apprentice, or even for an older tattooer, sometimes lettering isn't the thing that you focus on, but sometimes people like to have that in there. They want their kids' names in the balloon strings and all that stuff. And sometimes you got to be able to think on the fly with that stuff. And when I do that, I like to draw a little bit of a quick sketch in front of the client. I think that's one of the quickest ways that we can gain their confidence, is to do a quick sketch in front of them. And with lettering, if it goes pretty good, even if it's your first attempt and you know you could do better, like most of the time they're amazed at all that you even did anything for them. So for me, that little practice has helped me out with my lettering, and I've worked in some shops with some real badasses at lettering and got their alphabet techniques and stuff from them, and kind of started to focus on it a little bit some years ago. Like I said, I definitely don't consider myself an expert. You guys will probably see that as we get going here, but we'll work on it together. And if anybody has some tips or techniques or special tricks they do, you can see I'm using paper and pencil here. I don't know if I have both, Gabe. I have my paper on screen as well.
It is looking perfect.
the paper and the.
Yeah, you might zoom out a little bit. Right now we can't see the top of the banner.
Okay.
Or move the paper down, or move the paper up. Oh.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna adjust. I got like a rig here. So is that a little better?
A little better. We're still there. You go. There you go. Perfect.
Oh, down like that. I got you.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit back up, or yeah, you can kind of.
I can't see on my screen what I'm really doing, so you just let me know.
That looks good.
But you can see that I'm sketching this little light banner here.
Absolutely.
Cool. I don't even know what I'm gonna write in or anything. Just getting my hand loosened up a little bit, you know. It's all about going quick and being kind of loose. And I was gonna share kind of a little kung fu technique, something that I use with apprentices, and it's just kind of a goofball thing for me, and it's just kind of a fun party trick. But I think it helps to loosen up your arm and get your brain more involved and stuff. But it's the broken lead technique. You see, I sharpened up my pencil right here, and I'm going to break off the lead. You see, if I can get a bigger chunk here. And you're like, what is he doing with that? I'll show you. If I can get a decent chunk of it. Maybe this will work better with this. You have to get kind of there we go. So with like the most minuscule little tiny piece, that's even an extra small one. Let's see. You know, and you take that little thing, and you, like I said, you're kind of getting your brain involved more. And like in art class, they make you kind of use your whole wrist and stuff, you know, or your whole arm when you're doing things. So to warm up, sometimes it's almost like making an extra challenge of yourself for yourself. I'll show apprentices or people this party trick with the broken lead technique. And if you can get anything kind of even remotely, like I said, that one's kind of extra small.
Yeah, that's cool.
But for fun, just for fun, it's kind of a funny little thing to do in front of customers and stuff like that too. Party trick.
Nice. Nice. Hey, real quick, is there any way that you could turn your phone the other direction? Because I mean, it looks fine, but it is upside down.
Oh, wait.
No, not your phone. The one for the
iPad. Let's see if I do this.
Yeah. No, it didn't. I think that's going to do what it needs to. You need to move it a little bit to the right, but now it's going to look the right side up. Yeah.
And then I move my paper over here.
Exactly. Yeah. Perfect. But now your phone is upside down. It is pretty amazing.
Yeah. We're in this together.
Perfect. Now we've got it all exactly the way we need it.
Okay.
And there is, 50, 60 people watching.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you can, like I was saying, I can't see the chat rooms or anything. I'd love to say hi to anybody, watching, or let me know if anyone's working on anything at home, or if they could zoom in, if a guest could zoom in and show me some of their tricks and show me some more tips. I'd love that too. That would be cool.
Yeah. Janneke Weiss Hansen gave it a thumbs up. She's awesome. I love her work. She does all the like heavy metal covers for the Norwegian bands, and
oh wow,
awesome tattooer too. She's on a Drunk Critique sometimes.
Oh cool. Yeah, we got to do another one of those sometime.
We do. The last two got cursed. We were doing it. We had a plan with Tommy Lee as a special guest, and yeah, the last two times we had a schedule to just last minute did not work out, which is unfortunate. We are planning on a live Drunk Critique at the Paradise BYOB.
Oh cool. Yeah.
You could do some lettering for Drunk Critique.
Beyond your own beliefs system. Yeah, safety meeting, Drunk Critique. We'll do that there. That'd be awesome. That'd be fun. And so, on the subject of lettering, we went over this last time. A good place to start with or loosen up is the your ascenders and the circles. Your most everything you're going to do is going to consist of a shape that's around. You goes kind of like that. And like I said, I'm just doing stuff to get kind of loosened up here. Ooh la la. And I'm starting, what I'm also doing here is doing my first sketch with an HB pencil. It's not quite making as much of a commitment there, and you can do the overlay. Then I'll take either like a actual black colored pencil, or I got my 6B pencil, 6B here too. And then you give her the kind of the final with the 6B. And you get a little more of the variation in the line weight and stuff with your pressure, and then as you lighten up towards the bottom of the letter or wherever you're starting from. Yeah, giving it back to Boog. All this stuff, this whole thing is, you know, a reflection on Boog's work here, and shout outs, you know, to his memory that lives on, and that we practice this art form that he perfected. And we're going to be working on like the official G script today from his you know, From the Streets with Love flash book, that if you are a tattooer of any amount of time and spending time in street shops or anything, you probably are really familiar with that flash book. Book was amazingly prolific and has tons and tons of different styles. That's what I'm trying to do with this whole thing too, is kind of broaden my own styles and things, and get a little bit more in the repertoire than just kind of the basic stuff. As we go on, and we'll hopefully do more of these, maybe once a month, then we'll get into doing some little different styles, maybe like by Big Me's, or kind of influenced by that. And, you know, we're not trying to copy exactly, but yet sort of like there's something to be said, like they kind of refer to it as, you know, you look at the work of the masters, or copy the work of the masters, and let that inform what you want to do, and add your own kind of thing here and there gradually. It's like a recipe or something, you know. You don't just making shit up. Sometimes you got to follow directions.
Absolutely. Let's see. From one of the chat rooms, this is Reinventing the Tattoo YouTube channel. Jerry P says, "Cheers, all. Stoked for another lettering session." Let's see. Eldon Bittencourt says, "Hi from Brazil."
Nice.
So I've got some people watching.
Obrigado.
Thank you for. What are you supposed to say? Smash that like button and give it a follow and share.
If I never hear, yeah.
Shit. Anyway, well,
I like this.
Yeah. People already have. There's 5 people watching and 4 likes, so you're doing good so far.
Okay.
Let us know in the chat room if you're doing any lettering, or if you have any phrases that you want Damon to hammer out for you.
Custom phrase? Sure.
On the fly, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it. You're now you're drawing off the screen now.
Let's see. I'm gonna back this up then and see if I can maybe get the whole paper kind of.
There you go. Oh.
And okay, I can kind of see here. Oh, if I look there, I got you. Okay. Let's do this. So yeah, we're gonna start with the official G script here. If I can get my pencil short. Gabe, what do you think about lettering tattoos? Do you have any of them? Did you get any?
Let's see, let me turn my lights on here. Yeah, I showed one of them off in the intro, little ad hoc, right? I've got Geek on one set of knuckles. And then,
yeah, that's right.
Bird. But that is that's the extent of my lettering. I do have, you know, side of the hand, I don't even know, umlaut, or a little digital one. I think that's the extent of my lettering, though.
Oh yeah, we got to get into, as we go further with this, my goal in with my lettering You know, that Sam Taylor stuff where it's like the full leg with the negative space letters and super old
Yeah,
time
it's not a,
cool looking. I love that stuff. And also something, if anyone in the chat room you know, has more skills with this kind of thing, but multi styles in the same piece. I like that a lot too. Like, you know, you have script and then gangster and then tat style, all that. You know, that's something that I want to aspire to in my own work. So here we go. Starting with the A here. So yeah, it'd be awesome if, you know, people would follow along with that kind of thing. And so I just started with the 6B. I'm going to switch back to HB. Whoa, look out to see how like committed that line is right there.
looks
One
like
thing with
atomic injections 47 is oh, he asked Gabe when was the last time you tattooed. I've never tattooed ever. I almost did a bro tat on somebody because it seemed like, you know, it would be fun, but that person actually, and they were a very talented realist, but yeah, no. So I was like, no way. And then when they freaked out, I was like, okay, no, not about that. They freaked out about something else. I was like, I'm glad my only tattoo or my first tattoo wasn't on a crazy person. Let's see. Alden Bittencourt says yes, R.I.P. Norm. I'm not sure if
yeah,
that yes is for they're doing some lettering, but if so, feel free to zoom in.
yeah, big ups, you know, fucking Norm, Boog. Crazy that we lost those guys so early, man. It just really fucking sucks, to be honest.
It's horrifying. We absolutely need to remember every day is very special, even if
You know,
it's fucking torturous.
I wear a real big tattoo from Boog, you know, and I got to know him a little bit in the short time that we hung out and got to smoke with him and you know, when you realize too, wearing people's work after they pass and the impact that you as a tattooer have on the world that goes a little bit deeper than the tattoo session initially. You know, that day is over, but your relationship with that person that you tattooed, it's never over, you know. So it's kind of heavy sometimes like that.
Yeah, you know, there's and you know, along with memorial tattoos and to the point of lettering, there's a fair amount of memorial lettering. You know, so tattooers are definitely
Oh man, yeah, but that's heavy sometimes. Whew. You have people come in, you know, and this is always just a blessing for me, and it's just such a heavy thing. Sometimes people come in like really fresh after an incident or a loss of a family member, you know. Boom. I've even had people come in like straight after a ceremony and things like that, and you gotta fucking buck up and put shit aside and be professional when it's hard sometimes, you know, hold it together, to be honest.
Really tender time to try to be explaining, you know, quality tattooing techniques versus the importance of the, you know, memorial part of the tattoo, you know.
Oh yeah,
sort
yeah,
of
for sure,
one of
for
those
sure.
like you were saying, it's a very special, a really sacred time really to be, you know, part of someone's process.
Yeah, the
Got
whole
to take it seriously.
thing. Talking about tattooing being sacred, and some people take that to another level and are able to do that and express that, you know. I really appreciate those people. Like, namely, there's, you know, I'm not sure for sure if you're familiar with a fellow named John Osiris, but he like brings another level to it, you know, honoring sort of the more spiritual aspects of it. I do believe that are there. You lose sight a little bit of that if you're a 90s tattooer from street shops and stuff, but you can't deny that stuff, I think, over time.
Oh yeah, well, especially with the memorial tattoos, that's where it comes real clear. It's like it's really easy to be like, that shit, you know, you don't want to do that shit upside down. Wait, you know, wait, that's actually the memorial of, you know, and again, you know, maybe you should be honoring the memorial memory of that person with something that's a little more sophisticated or something. But yeah, mostly I'm just commenting on the difficulty of the situation, and yeah, it's the extra expectations that, you know, should be put on a tattooer, I suppose, to guide people through it, you know, because they're doing
To
it one
that
way or another.
point, yeah, totally. You're gonna make that impact whether you like it or not. And to your point there, there's something um, that comes up quite often, and also a memorial tattoo. it's like a lot of tattoos are more memorial tattoos than you even would think. A lot of them do kind of have those connotations. But getting back to the what's appropriate and stuff, the sometimes it's real common that people want to put a set of dates like with that, and they want to put the birth date and the death date along with that tattoo. And to this day, I think I've talked to every single on nearly every single person into just doing the birth date, because their life, kind of the way I put it is life is about so much more than just that day. And you'll grow to just let that day kind of, and hopefully that day itself won't be quite so important in your memory. I don't know. It's hard to even know how to put it, but it's like you get into that conversation and they immediately are like, oh, okay, yeah, like they kind of get where you're going. And also, I kind of explained that a whole little set of little numbers and stuff. It looks like a phone number under there or something. You got like, I can just kind of find a way to talk them out of it if I can. And also because that's kind of heavy also for me, to be honest.
Sure. There's also other ways to, other phrases, that they may have invoked, or other, qualities, forces, spirits, whatever else, and I say spirits loosely. I mean, like, other values or other things that they stood for, right? Anyways, back to the lettering.
Oops. I'm gonna take this out of here because it's really soft with the rest of the pad under there. Need a little bit, but yeah, heavy way to start out the podcast here. But yeah, lettering tattoo memorials is.
Tilt that shit up or pull down. You're off camera a little. Other way. There you go.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, and sometimes the amount of caffeine that you intake in the day should be considered. I'm a little bit nervous today, so. Let's see here. Oops. Make sure y'all can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I used to really tattoo with my face and my head, like really right down close to the client. It's kind of funny when you're first starting out with that stuff and nervous. Shit that you do. I try to sit back and be more stoic these days. Hope everybody is safe after the 4th and has all their fingers to draw with and tattoo. But, sadly enough, it's probably one or two out there. Tattooers and fireworks, man. It's like, it's this kind of a thing.
You're also in the Wild West.
Not so much out here. They've outlawed a lot of stuff. In Florida, I'm telling you, when I lived down in Florida, those guys get insane with the fireworks down there every year. On the beach and all that stuff is fun.
Yeah, nice. Alabin Bittencourt from Brazil says, well said. Not sure specifically, but well said, Damon.
But, thank you. Obrigado. He might have been talking about you, Gabe.
Well, I guess it's a 50-50 chance. Or maybe 60-40 your favor.
Yeah, and then as we go, I'm just going to try to, for the sake of like sort of time and getting this handled, I'm going to go through these somewhat quickly, and then maybe we'll go back and kind of point out some things that could have maybe done differently, or areas that kind of go wrong here and there, rather than doing it as I do each one.
Yeah, it's cool. Sometimes a lot of people don't even see about, sharpening the points, or all those little tiny ass details.
Things in, or things that for sure, like I said, this is all in the interest of learning, and for me, you know, not for nothing, it's like in the interest of my own learning. I appreciate this platform and to be able to use this as a, inspiration for me to keep working on my chops and, over COVID and shit. Like I was saying last time, I didn't do a walk-in name. I haven't tattooed a name on somebody off the street in a year and a half or something now. So I'm feeling a little bit rusty on the lettering skills and stuff, and you can never get too sharp with that stuff, really. Let's see. I'm going to try this here. Other thing that's annoying me is my pencil is getting short here already. Use a nice new pencil if you can, right? It's like $2. Come on. And this is something interesting on the D here that I was going to point out. We have a tendency to write everything like we would draw. We're drawing sort of left to right and whatnot. But in the lettering styles and kind of calligraphy based stuff, for me, it works better to go backwards sometimes, adjust that. Like I had issues always where I didn't like the D, and it's kind of interesting because my own name starts with a D, and it's maybe that was my tendency to just make like my hand signature or something, which isn't something artistic. But anyway, I go from the bottom of the D here, go up around, and then I seem to get a little bit better proportion on how it's a little heavier on the top. I prefer that right there. Let's see. Yeah, maybe I can. These are a little bit bigger than maybe normal tattoo style. I'm curious if Guy ever gets a request. Can you throw my kids' names in the middle of that glowing 3D object, please? If I could have 5 kids, put my kids' names in there.
If he does, he's exceptionally patient with his response and replies. He's out of control like that sometimes. With just how awesome he is about, again, really listening, getting to the heart of what it is that they were looking for, and then having a good, kind response. It's pretty amazing. So I guess I don't know. That would be an interesting question for him.
Yeah, if he ever, I know he's leading an exercise right after this tonight, huh? Like,
yep, or that'll be at 9 o'clock in an hour and 20 minutes.
Shit, so we're gonna be we may be cut for Guy time if we don't finish here. So, but that's cool. I know a lot of us find it interesting that these guys are just people too, and there may be something that they feel like they could work on, or like, like even though the waves thing, it was, Guy expressed that he was like, oh, he didn't feel super comfortable with it, and that just kind of blew my mind. It's like, what? Wow.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. I mean, yeah, he's also, like it's been a while. I'm kind of rusty. I wish I could do this better. Man, I'm really struggling here. And then at the end of the 2 hours, 3 hours, everyone's looking at their waves, and his are like fucking sick ass fucking.
I know.
I'm sure that people had, a more of a critique than I could have had for it, but they look pretty sick to me.
Yeah, if he ever jumps in on a lettering, like maybe we could do like more like not an event, but what do they call it? Like when everybody kind of an exercise or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. So it is crazy watching them. I mean, again, part of what you're doing, like when people are doing these things on a regular basis, you get better at it, and then when that starts becoming your routine, then all of a sudden you're becoming better like routine. So it's pretty awesome to see.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy by this time with the app didn't even launch all that long ago, but the amount of information and stuff out there, for subscribers or even things for free online that's out now, it's like there's no excuse. There's basically an online university is what it kind of should be called.
It's a tremendous amount of information that was not available, again, like you were saying, some of it, even though it existed in different places, now to be able to collect it all, into a couple different spots is, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, with the
But again,
weekly
and you could see it,
content
and
and
you
the
could see,
things like with Jake and Jesse and Jason and Frankie and everybody eagerly contributing, it's like you could call that curriculum right there.
yeah, it's and then really watching again, kind of watching the improvement is just pretty awesome. I it's amazing how long it's taken me to not be cynical, and I love looking at everybody's work, and I love looking at a wide variety of people's work from all skill levels, and run a lot of events about teaching. So the whole goal is to find people that are young and fresh and don't have awesome portfolio. They have sparks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I have to kick myself like every 2 or 3 weeks. It's like, man, they're getting good. Like, wait, of course, why didn't you expect that? Like, you watched them show up and do this shit, every week for, 6 months now or 3 months now. They better be getting better at this stuff. But yeah, it's pretty awesome to to be able to be a participant in it, or like to watch and to observe.
Yeah, you'll see that happening, when you work with people who are taking things seriously, or I mean, you don't even have to work with people. You can see it on if you follow them on their Instas or their stories, or certain people you've watched in the business, like, oh, so and so like was just kind of that step to being an artist of exceptional influence. It's like people are building on the backs of everyone else and kind of really making it happen. I've watched people that I've worked with become legendary freaking tattooers, names in the business, when I was getting just started with them on day one, and that slow and steady progress and pace, and goddamn if they didn't make it, specifically referring to my good friend Scotty Munster there, who's
Oh
who
yeah,
became,
he's great. He's awesome.
and when I mean, it's just funny, like, we come from the same place. He wasn't tattooing at all. He started getting tattooed at our shop, and his friends all started getting tattooed, and next thing you know it, I would give my fucking right nut to get a nice long session from old Scotty Munster. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's got a great artistic guy, really amazing rendering skills. Yeah, something special there for sure.
Watching him come up, and we were constantly talking about, like, fuck, how are they getting that smooth coloring, airbrush style like that, And that new school kind of style that was coming out, like, in early 2000s.
Was that like back in Dark Side Tattoo days, or I
Yeah,
guess 2000s a little bit.
Eric Merrill influences and stuff. Yeah, when everything was so. I mean, people's careers were like made with each different magazine sometimes that would come out. It was all about the magazines back then. I was like a magazine junkie back then. Before the internet, that was the fucking internet. So I would eagerly absorb like everything in those things, and a lot of what was in them magazines had to do with things that Gabe here was involved with. So it's kind of crazy. That really exploded for you in about the year 2001 or so, 2099, or when
Yeah,
would you say?
I'd been working with Darkside before that. I think that it was 2000 or 2001 maybe that actually Darkside kind of went away or took a hiatus there for a bit. But yeah, it was right out of the gate, and the being one of the first players on the internet tattoo side, there was a tremendous amount of eyeballs, at that point, and yeah, it was pretty crazy time, no doubt about it. And it was like Nick Baxter, like way back in the day, and it's definitely fun to think about it, and some of the data in the database is crazy too. Like I'm cleaning up the database, and there's a lot of tattoo history in that database there.
Oh, cool, yeah, like the Nick Baxter
Pixelated leaf.
The pixelated leaf. I was gonna say these are, pieces that went down in like a Hall of Fame, and it's just a trip to me that this experience that I thought was somewhat unique to me and my personal taste and everything is not at all. People, come on, blew people's minds. That stuff, the pixelated leaf. Oh man, other Eric Merrill pieces of like Foo Dogs or things. Like if I thought back, like he was a huge inspiration for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I never did get quite my saturation, you know, to that level. I never quite understood what the hell they're doing differently or using differently, and to my own fault of like not, you know, going to get tattooed by one of them, or maybe watching
that's
a
how you do
seminar
it.
or something, you know.
Yeah, they
I
weren't
still
even
love to
really
do color
teaching back
tattoos, but
then.
I'd be lying if I didn't say there's something different about the way those guys seem to saturate their work. I
Oh
just
yeah,
don't get it.
absolutely. No,
And one thing that I noticed but with their work and with work these days is when people can the tattoo machine itself, or like the fact that needles and a tattoo machine were used in the process, is not even apparent in that work to me. You know, like in my work, it's like, oh, I can kind of see some needle marks or something here and there, but like, you know, those guys' work, it looks like it could be painted on with some mystery paint or something.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, you know, and obviously, like Nico and some of those guys took up the rendering uh, forefront.
Oh yeah,
It's,
for sure.
I was just chatting with him. Are you gonna go down to the tattoo show in LA? It was Golden State.
I doubt I'll make it down to LA. I never have been there quite yet, but I mean, it'd be a lot of fun.
It's happening September, I believe. I'm tentatively thinking might end up out there. I was looking at plane tickets and they're fucking dirt cheap. It's out of control. I don't really want to get on an airplane, but I think it was only like $300 round trip or something silly.
Wow. Yeah, they're back open 100% and stuff now, right?
Yeah, it feels like. I mean, I think everyone on the airplanes has to stay masked up, but yeah, it's presumably I'm all vaccinated, so in theory, you know, protected to to a good extent. But I still drive. I'm still driving everywhere mostly. I don't mind long drives either. I'll drive for a day and a half straight before I get on an airplane. Really, I mean, these days.
Yeah, I'm finding that you got to sharpen kind of after each one. It really helps to have a nice sharp pencil. So if I fill those in, then I got to kind of sharpen after I do that. So I kind of get the skeletons going and do that. And it also kind of does seem to help like with the flow of your hand. You know, if you're writing normally, you wouldn't stop and make these kind of motions and stuff. So maybe I'll do some more of the skeletons of them and then come back and fill that in. Like I said, if anyone has tips or suggestions, different tricks that they use, pencils, pens, I'm still not in love with the way the Procreate pencil works for lettering. And so maybe that's something we could get into, or if someone has tips on lettering with Procreate. The pencil just feels a little too slippery and stuff. And I have the matte thing, but I feel like I could use a little bit more of a grippiness on there.
Well, there are more people watching now on the YouTube than when we started, so you're doing something right.
Yeah, the timing thing, like I figured for people on the East Coast or where you're at, like it's not too terribly late, might be kind of done doing daily shit. I don't know.
Yeah, it is a good warm up right before guys exercise. The people that are doing 2 hours of guys might not necessarily have 4 hours to put in, but on the other hand, well, like I said, there's more people watching now than there were that started, so it's that's because everyone's smashing that like button. Oh God, I was listening
Smash
to
that like button.
one of the tattooers at one of the YouTube learner tattooers. it's killing. Sometimes it kills me. I try not to think about it. The streamers that are doing, tens of thousands of views or hundreds of thousands of views, and they're like, I learned to tattoo on YouTube, so I feel like I should teach everybody on YouTube. And it's like, oh my lordy, you didn't really learn yet on YouTube. But yeah, every like one of the things I do is I just, they repeat the mantras, and I guess it's working for them. But whew.
There's a guy, I forget what one it is, some painting thing or something that I watch, and he always just says some goofball shit like, invite the like button over for dinner, but when it gets there, serve them only iced tea or some goofy shit like that. Like just kind of sticks out in your mind. Like, do anything but smash that like button.
Do not touch it.
Do not touch the like button. No matter what you do not smash the like button.
Drunken Yoda says lettering is my favorite. This is a Drunken Yoda on the tattoo. This is a Tattoo Now YouTube. Lettering is my favorite smiley face. I started in the early 80s after watching Beat Street.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, watching all that stuff. And for me, working in California and working with people down in San Diego who like have been drawing lettering since they were kids and stuff. I just love that shit. And my goal is to emulate that stuff that I've seen that literally is like jailhouse lettering. Some of the best lettering I've ever seen is like, don't count those guys out, especially for that kind of style. I think that would be a compliment if somebody said that my work looked, like prison script or something. But yeah, that's, this is where we're taking this stuff from. And I like that with lettering. It's like with graffiti, of course, you don't bite somebody's style or something like that. But it seems like that doesn't come into play when we're just talking about script style. Like people kind of eagerly share their little tricks, and maybe not some people, but I know Boog certainly was very generous and giving us these gems,
Yeah, it's definitely there's more to go around, right? Or one of the things that obviously some of the old schoolers are definitely like pretty cutthroat. But the lessons that at least I was picking up, from the dark side, as they were filtering it through, it was the overabundance of work attitude, like, at least in the dark side, I was like, man, there's so many people that want to get tattooed. Like, there's no harm, no foul. It's hard to get that pissed off when, there's enough work to go around for everybody. And, if you work hard enough and you're really talented, you should, if you're producing an experience in a tattoo, where people are coming back with their friends, you are creating more, you are adding more to the mix. You're not taking from it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and nobody, no two people do really any of this stuff the same at all. The guy down the street and I both are doing. I've often said that, like, the discussion came up recently. Well, it's like, well, are we necessary workers and stuff? And it's like, well, it's like, just because we both tattoo, but we don't do the same job necessarily. I don't do the exact same thing that my buddy Matt over here does. I can't tattoo like he can, and he can't tattoo like I can. So of course we're all necessary. There's no such thing as just as your average tattooer. Everybody's different.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's actually that's a force that helps with immigration.
Right. That's kind of thing. Yeah, just because there's other tattooers in town, that doesn't mean he doesn't do something or she doesn't do something totally different, special.
Let's see. On one of the Facebooks, Tony Bravo says awesome. So he's digging what you're putting down. Or...
Thank you, Tony Bravo. Much appreciated. I was telling Gabe, I'm a little nervous here today. Hopefully that won't come into play too much. And, it was just the 4th. I was hoping, like, man, I tried not to party too much,
Yeah, Jake Meeks last night at 9 o'clock, I was actually, I think, already crashed out because, but I woke up at like fucking 3 in the morning. And point being is, I think I texted him back at like 4 in the morning. He's like, "Are we doing tomorrow?" And
Yeah.
it's kind of funny. Like every other time I've tried to cancel the Monday morning drawing group, there's been people that are like, "There's no way we're canceling it. We'll just do it." One time, one of the, I think Jason, he has all the, the keys to the codes. He's got the keys to the kingdom. He's like, "I'll just start this fucking thing up," and all of a sudden, like, I was beaming into the Monday morning group like 15 minutes late, and so these things, they kind of have a life of their own at this point. Yeah.
Heck yeah, these guys, like you said, with Jason and Jake and Frankie, and
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Very cool. I got to surprise. I don't know if you saw. I got to surprise Jason a couple of weeks ago when I was driving down to go to Virginia Beach to go see Gabriel Cece. I had gotten Jason's address because we were sending him some flyers, and I realized that if I timed it right, I left here, whatever, 6 in the morning. I'd get down there at like 11, just as the stream would be ending.
oh no way.
So I tuned in and I was listening to it on the way down. I'm like, oh my God, I think I'm literally going to be able to show up on his doorstep at like, 55 minutes after the show starts, 5 minutes before it ends. And sure enough, I like pull up and I'm like, man, I hope he didn't give me his like mom's number or something, or his shop owner's address, because I'm sending flyers. It doesn't necessarily have to be his address, And but I'm knocking on the door, I'm ringing the doorbell, and he's not coming. Then all of a sudden, I ring the doorbell one more time, and I hear him on the stream. He's like, fuck it, hold on, I'll be right back.
Oh, that's so funny. I have to watch.
Oh, it was pretty fun. He answers the door, and I'm like, "Can I use your bathroom?" I mean, actually, I really did have to use his bathroom really bad. He's like, "What the fuck? Who the hell is answering? Who rings the doorbell like 5 times in a row at 11 o'clock on a Monday?"
On the stream, dude, like that is a little bit wild. Can you do a clip of that segment? That'd be funny.
Yeah, I could, but I mean, that wasn't on video, right? That was the part where,
It's funny, dude. You realize you guys lived close like that, or whatever.
Well, he's in Philadelphia. I'm in Western Mass, so like I said, it was like 4 to 5 hour drive.
Oh.
It's amazing. It'll be really fun at the BYOB to like meet everybody in person for the first time, like everybody together. They've all kind of caught up with each other. They've all traveled around, and I think Ricardo and Jason tattooed together.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I always love those guys' content stuff, and Ricardo's skull stuff, man. Paintings are they really blow my mind, man.
Yeah, really, like I was saying, it's really a pleasure to watch everybody progress and share with each other, and you can see the ideas, go from art jam to art jam. Somebody will be beaming in from some random place, and drop down some, good ideas, and then Jason picks up with it, and 2 streams later shares it with with Kirsten and Ricardo, and all of a sudden, another 3 streams later, they're sharing it with another 10 people, and it's like, whoa! I literally just watched the idea seed go grow and grow. It's
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Right, same thing will happen with these things too, right? With
yeah, hoping so. I was gonna say, hopefully, we'll be able to see some kind of progress here from myself and maybe some other people with their lettering exercises as we go. Or I know if I, one of my goals is to go back and watch a lot of the replays and stuff. There's so much. I don't know if there's people in the chat room, like if there's anyone that's totally caught up on all the content on reinventing the tattoo, comment in the chat room. We'll send you a t-shirt or something, because like there's so much stuff there. I think you have to make time to sit and digest some of the older stuff. And as tattoo TV sort of progresses, right? Like all that stuff is on like 24/7. It can be as much as you can possibly handle.
Oh man, I have 2 conversations, two possible leads for Roku.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah.
yeah, we keep making cool, good stuff, and I mean, obviously, we could always increase production. I was just thinking about having lower thirds and stuff, and I'm like, as I was saying earlier, like once things are working, I'm really wary of fucking with it, because sometimes you fuck with things and you're like, oh look, I got some lower thirds up, so some sponsors are happy, but then everything crashed because there's no more memory, or whatever it might be. But
Is that like the thing that scrolls across the bottom or something?
yeah, exactly. Jerry P says, Gabe showing up was awesome. The story makes it way better. Maybe he saw saw it. It is amazing. Thank you, Jerry, for watching. Yeah. As you were, Tim, as you were kind of saying, like, primarily we have to do these things for ourselves. Otherwise, no one else is actually going to care. But it is also great because so many people care.
All this is it's really an effort to sharpen my own stuff when I, like, hey, I've like, and where can I, it's kind of like a get in where you fit in thing. Like, hey, I don't see anyone else like covering this topic, and I got like a rudimentary understanding of it. I guess that could help me, each one teach one, and
yeah,
kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And like I said, a lot of it too is paying respects to Boog and the masters and stuff, and where this stuff came from. It's where it started, and I always want to give it up to where I kind of picked up this stuff from, and I hope it kind of carries on.
Absolutely. I eagerly await the day where everything's like where I'm to the point where someone else is doing the streaming, so I'm like, oh, you know what? I've got my iPad here. I could actually give this all a shot. But not until I have enough time to properly dedicate, because I know how much time it takes, because I'm watching everybody take all the time.
Yeah, we're all waiting for the evolution of the tattooer inside Gabe Ripley that's been waiting.
Oh, there's no way. No way I would ever do it under my name. No fucking way in hell. Especially with the haters too, right?
I can see the montage now. He's like training with Philip Liu, and then he's over here painting with Sean Barber. And
well, that's the thing, right? If it was anything, if it was anything less than spectacular, it wouldn't be worth doing. And if, like, there's just no way.
I don't know about that.
Make anything that would even come close to worth it here. Okay, let me.
Busted my lead. You see, that means I was gorilla gripping it too much. Like, if you break your lead, you're doing something wrong. Kind of, you should be more light-handed. I did a drawing exercise or a drawing series of classes here in town with like a fine artist guy in realism drawing, and his materials list, the lead that goes inside a mechanical pencil, just the lead itself, that's what you held in your hands and sharpened to like a needle point, and he would have you holding just that stick of lead. So you'd be snapping it every 3 seconds. Like, in some of this stuff is like kung fu training, like I said, with the broken thing. Like, it's the wax on, wax off thing. And then when you go to doing it for real, then you find the benefits,
Sure. Kind of like training in the the Rocky Mountains with a low oxygen.
Yeah.
By the time you get down to the real world, it's like. So let's see here. Let's check out some of our insights. So 75 people peak viewers. So at one point there was, on this one channel, so it was probably about 100 people watching at the peak. Let's see. Just about 100 people watching for real. It was 2,500 3-second views. That's people that are just scrolling by. 810 minutes viewed so far, just on this one channel. It's not bad. Got about 100 people that have watched on the YouTubes. It's not bad if it was a rock and roll show. Well, if it was a local rock and roll show, 100 some odd people.
And like I said, if we got people out there, like, where'd this guy come off? chime in. Let's see, host next week. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah,
I'm here to
it's kind
learn.
of
I'm here
funny.
to, and hopefully I can get some insight from people here too.
We could now we have a couple of videos. Maybe we can get a little video teaser for next month's lettering, and
Sure.
or maybe if you do like a time lapse of you know, is there an official name for, or reinventing lettering session? Maybe um, we could put together a little promo video.
Sure. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
like I said, people are still watching. Thank you everyone for staying tuned in here.
Yeah, we're almost to Z, and then like I said, I'll go around and maybe hit a couple things here and there, tighten up some little things,
Awesome.
and then point out some things that I would like to see some improvement with the. Maybe we'll do the red pencil. I don't have a red pencil. I'm just gonna write at the top, "See me after class." That's what I would get a lot for my grade. See me. We got to talk. What the fuck?
With a red pen.
Yeah. See me. Okay. We got the goofy Z. X is weird. I almost probably can't remember the last time I ever actually got to use an X in a tattoo. Oh, we gotta do like this. Here we go, Z. I like the parakeet noise in the background there. When
I've got a nice little bird just nest outside my window here. It's fucking
I was
hot.
like, parakeets at home or something, Gabe?
You know,
That's
I used to when I was growing up, but I always felt a little weird about clipping their wings. You know,
Yeah.
but actually, so we let them fly around the house a little. You know, so which was pretty cool. I don't even need to get into that story though. This is a turns into a white trash drunken night story from a horribleness of growing up in.
We'll bring it up, save it for drunk critique about 3 a.m.
Point being is we've got nice little birdies outside my window right now. It's kind of funny when Guy and I are on like our meeting calls. It's like he's got his outdoor gazebo that he's in, and I've got my outdoors in New England here, and it's pretty funny.
Try not to bust out the eraser the whole time, but I broke the dang lead again.
Atomic injections. Haha, I get a Gabe original tattoo. Yeah, well, I'll be real hard up for cash if I'm ever slinging tattoos. No, that's not true. I joke. I'll hit up everybody for fun, I suppose. Although my life would be so much simpler if I just learned how to tattoo. That's for sure.
That's what we all thought too, Gabe.
Well, being support team for tattooers is even trickier, right? Like, because tattooers don't need anybody else, right? Like, you tattoo somebody and they come back with their friends. Like, you don't need me to do anything. We have to work.
Same way as a band or whatever, you don't think they benefit from a manager or whatnot? Take it to
Oh, absolutely. But a band also has, anywhere between 3 and 7 people that all need to like perform multiple times a week to be able to make a living. Whereas, a tattooer can you could open up a private studio, and tattoo people, presuming there's other things in place. It's just a much more self-enabled art, so whereas a band has a greater need for a manager, you're trying to orchestrate, many more people. And clearly I work really hard to produce value. I'm not saying it's not impossible, but it's very difficult. And again, only because you can do it all. Like, you can draw up your poster, walk around and put it out on the streets, and then people will come into the place where you told them to go to in the poster, get tattooed, and then come back with their friends. It's pretty amazing like that. Jerry says he's been drawing along, but a few letters behind. Jerry, you've got to zoom in at some point, or somehow, or maybe update, tag it in your Instagram. And let us know. We'll
there you go.
Put you on the show.
The thing is, and why I am kind of so eager to get some feedback or to see some different stuff, is because when you're lettering's kind of your thing, you can absorb or learn or take someone's little trick or flair and That's all of a sudden your new favorite way to do that. And we're like, oh, I never seen that way to do an M or whatever, you know, like, or a ching or whatever, chingadero.
Sure.
Especially with those little flourishes and the little things like, I don't know where you, little serifs, kind of like little accent pieces where those go. I'm kind of add those now. So I'm smudging my paper here, so put something under my hand. And yeah, we will go as we go here, starting to kind of finish up on the A, and then we'll talk about some different things here. So I'm gonna add like our little shadow drops on each of those as I go, because those are always a little bit extra tricky for me. So if I can practice those. That's the extra bells and whistles if you can get to where you're tattooing like that, like real efficiently. And then you add those little things that will help your work definitely stand out and show that you got that next level style with the drops. I don't know what it is. It's like they sometimes hard for me to keep it super parallel, like I was saying for correcting stuff, like keeping the parallelness of your drop line there, your shadow line. It should of course be the same distance from one thing all the way around. It shouldn't change at all. Those are not things that are negotiable. And if it's not like that, it needs to be better like that than the next time. You know what I mean? Like, because it should look effortless. Your eye shouldn't stumble over that stuff. My C looks like it's upside down here or something. I was not happy with how that kind of came out, but what are you gonna do? We're live here, people. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm. Fuck it, do it live.
Fuck it, we're doing it live. I was almost thinking though about pre-recorded segments or something sometime.
You know, they are sharper, you know, but they also take so much more post and editing, and it's almost it's unbelievable when I'm recording something how many takes I have to do, and then I'm literally like, why don't I just pretend I'm doing it live? Because when I'm doing it live, I'm not stopping and starting it again to try to make it perfect. I just keep going. And but then I re-listen to a thing that's edited and compared to a thing that's live, and I'm like, oh, there's reasons why we edit things. Shit. But you know, at least to hear from the reinventing, you know, and same thing with you. Like, we're not actors, you know, we're not part of SAG. Well, I was part of
Maybe
SAG.
you're not.
You're part of SAG. Are you still active?
Well, they just started refilming and stuff here again, so they'll get some more work. But yeah, I have a paycheck from a sessions studio in what do you call it, Burbank.
Awesome.
Pretty funny. You can look for me in the upcoming I don't know, rom-com, I think maybe with Jason Segel. It will be called The Sky Is Everywhere.
Awesome. You know, as I was coming out of my mouth, I was like, I actually did get a little extra work when I was out in LA. I mean, it was fucking probably 20 years ago at this point. It was more than 20 years ago. But I hugged Tom Arnold. I was Tom Arnold's prison bitch. Yeah, I hugged him on film. He said, honey, clean up my room. We were in a prison cell. Yeah. But
you know, famous sometimes tattooers will get that you know, you can see Gil Monty in Blood In, Blood Out, I think it is. He's one of the prisoners in there. Also the like tattoo consultants and stuff, like did the fake tattoos on the prison guys and stuff.
Yeah. Derb's been on a bunch of them.
Oh, Derb, yeah, I mean, that guy's made for this stuff, you know.
Oh, let's okay. So let's see. Atomic Injection says, okay, I'm not exactly sure what we got here. It says, okay, right. So this is in the Reinventing YouTube chat room. Atomic Injections 47 now. Thank you for the offer to get the tattoo, but that means that your judgment's already in question. So anyways, okay, so right. Nah, not true. We all need each other here, especially after my apprenticeship was over. I felt like I needed way more. Between Jake and Reinventing, I've got a place with a much bigger well of knowledge. than even the 11 artists shop that they're in. Yeah, it is one of those strange things where it's definitely like, hard to encourage people to like, check out all the stuff and learn online. But on the other
Yeah.
hand, the ability to tap into experts that are honest and actually they all actually care. That's the beautiful part about like the fireside or reinventing is that they care more about the learning than the money. Any day of the week. It's
Yeah, I know they say some people use the term master tattooer and stuff like that. I don't know what that qualifies or entails, but the learning curve never changes. Like the more you learn, the more you realize you have to learn, that you can learn. The closer to perfection you get, the further away you realize that you are.
Oh yeah.
Never ending.
I mean, it's fun to watch people from. Oh, you're breaking up a little bit, or maybe I am. I've got a question here. Andy Black asks, dude, I have to ask, which is why he asked, I guess. Did you tattoo your own right hand with your left hand?
No, sir. I got yeah, I wish. No, I got that by a fellow named John Caleb, who's like a lettering dude. He's like on the Sullen team and stuff, and John Caleb, he's from down South California here, and I ran into him at Cow Palace Tattoo Convention some years ago. I forget even kind of how long, but yeah, that says time flies right there. And he switched it up a lot, and I use this tattoo to kind of illustrate to my clients that we have sort of a battle here it's sort of a battle against legibility versus like style points. Like if we were to just draw it on you in like Helvetica, which some people are very good at doing, don't get me wrong, that's definitely a skill that could be developed. But that's just a different style of taste. Like for me, some of the most intricate stuff or blinged out, hard to read stuff is kind of the stuff I like to look at. And I also, once you look at that stuff a little more, you start to develop the ability to read it. Like when you are a graffiti guy or whatever, like people are like, what the hell is it? Or like those death metal band album covers. I imagine that once you're into that stuff, you kind of get to read it a little bit more.
Someone's got to be able to read it. No, who's the other guy from? He's working in Greece now, originally from Australia. Does sick ass lettering, does sick ass, realism stuff. But he'll do like the whole walls full of this crazy script. Benjamin Lelkis.
With that like calligraphy looking stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got kind of through here, just adding a little bit of chings here and there. Like I said, a lot to maybe learn from here this week. Yeah, developing the ability to keep those lines like fully parallel is something that I personally need to work on.
The parallel lines is one of those exercises that stops me from drawing and stuff. What Kira has been doing some of those fundamental exercises, and I do kind of laugh, but I mean it's easy for me to laugh because I never have to do any of it. But the sheets remind me of somebody that's doing exercises with ADD. She'll do like a third of the page of parallel line. I mean, again, this is like a lot of people are doing this, but then move to circles. So then there's the circle exercises, and then the cross hatching exercises. And I'm like, man, it must be torture to try to do a full page of parallel lines. Like, parallel lines have got to be. I mean, you could tell immediately when they're not parallel. Immediately.
And let's talk about that for just a second. The ascenders in the lettering thing. We'll maybe do one kind of goofball thing here and just kind of see if we can see the difference. But like, okay, we're gonna write something here. But yeah, as you're going, trying to keep them all your ascenders sort of have to have that relationship we talk about that with apprentices and stuff. Like, think of all these letters as having a relationship. You know, they all gotta. What happens with one happens with the other. You know, like it has to. Or things start getting a little sideways and.
Yeah, Atomic Injections 47 says, yeah, I'd beam in if I was set up, but I'm watching this through. I'm only watching through this because I can send it to the TV in landscape mode. So, so you're getting beamed up to a TV. That's pretty cool. Or at least
Yeah,
one
if we
TV.
get on that Roku thing, I know I got the Roku. Like,
I would be.
That would go to a lot of TVs.
That would go to a lot of TVs. Yeah, I mean, I suppose the Roku already has YouTube, correct? I mean, you could probably get to the YouTube channel through Roku. Is that true?
Yeah, it does. Yes, yes.
But it's not. It's not the same.
Yeah. I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. If you know, if they're gonna tune in, they're gonna tune in. I'm gonna try to, like I said, what am I gonna? I'm gonna try to fuck this up and see if it makes sense. Like. That's very relaxing. I like that.
It's beautiful out here. I can't. I don't complain anymore. Or if I do complain, I really shouldn't. You're welcome. Thank you.
But yeah, showing like, you know, these ascenders, none of them match. You see what I mean? Like it kind of going wonky ways. It doesn't really flow so good, you know? I had to use something as the example to do a wonky one, Gabe.
Using me as a wonky. I keep telling my family, you can't keep calling me weird. If you call me weird every single day of my life for fucking, 26 years in a row, it stops becoming weird.
Right? Unusual, maybe.
But
all right. Thanks, Gabe. We're going to conclude with that. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. You got a little bit of time to go grab some tea and roll a joint before your next session with Guy.
Awesome. Hey, thank you, Damen.
Thank you to sponsors. I don't know who they are, but thank them, and thank you, Guy Atchison, putting that out there, for having me and for doing everything that you do, as long as Gabe Ripley, as well as Gabe Ripley. Thank you so much again, buddy, for everything you do for us.
Absolutely. Cheers. We'll catch up soon. And there are more viewers now than there were at the beginning. So you're doing something right. Thank you very much. And we'll catch up in the future.
Thanks again, guys. There's that. Again, the official G script from Boog. This is all taken from